Hi, this is Garth Holman,
Hello everybody, JC Link here.
and we're here to talk to you about how we use Diigo in our classroom and then the final project you're going to do for the CEUs. So, JC, you want to get us started a little bit? How are we using it in our classrooms on a daily basis?
Well, one thing that I like to do is, obviously you can see here we're sharing links with the class. It kind of takes them directly to the things that we have annotated, and as you can see here with the annotated article, sometimes I will use this for differentiation matters. If it may be a longer article or something for the special ed children to use, but I also use it if it's a very long article and I just have certain parts that I want students to take out, so that can really save some time from them reading everything. So that's the main way I like to use it, is to help the children and students just by the differentiating.
Well, to piggyback on that, this is a good example too of a link where I highlighted specific things. Typically I only use blue, so when you see blue that tells my students, hey, Mr. Holman read this, so I might give them this link to use, and I have specific things I want them to know. So on the whole page I said, hey, read these things, this is what we need to know about. The reason I have them read this little blurb is I tell the story about Thomas Becket, so I wanted to have some basic idea of what's going on with a little bit of that story. So the first way we're going to kind of reiterate is sharing your annotated links. The kids aren't really doing too much, they're just using the annotated link you created. The second thing we're going to look at is how we move on with using groups. So in groups, I have a group here that's called History with Holman and Armstrong. There's thousands of kids in this, to be honest. I don't even know the number. And we have 1,400 websites that are saved and have already been read and Diigo'd by kids. So we just picked one here. This was saved by David on 2000 and on March 7th, 2012. So this was saved into this library 5-6 years ago, whatever it is. And this is what it looks like on the highlighted end. So the thing I'll point out is it's in yellow. I didn't read this and highlight it, the kid did. But if we begin to look, they put post-it notes where kids are asking each other questions. So this was back in 2013 and 2015, another kid read her question and responded.
Yeah. So it's essentially becoming a living document from year to year, whatever class you're teaching.
Right, and as you look at these, again, comments from me, I wrote something and stated something that a kid said, and then the kids respond to it. And again, if a kid goes to it in 2018, if their Diigo turns on, they will see everything listed here. So it gives them, hey, other people have read this, there's a discussion here, there's good information that we can use. So the groups is a big plus. And we have, again, 1,500 things. One thing I will point out, I have students from the high school who actually share readings from their 9th grade and 10th grade world history class back down to 7th graders with it already highlighted with key information. So our repository of information to pull from is getting larger and larger and larger each year. We're going to show one more thing. This is called
This is the outliner here.
So with Outliner, it allows you to build, and I'm clicking on it so you can see it. You have 5 free outlines with the free version, but if you get the teacher version, which we hope you do, you get
I think 500.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you can do a lot of this. What's really cool about it is that you can go into your readings or anything you've saved and you can click, I want this outlined. So in this case down here I've got this Marco Polo, and when I open it you'll see that it's already set up like I highlighted out of my group. But I can immediately convert that and it goes to bulleted points.
So what you're seeing here under the bulleted points are only the things that you highlighted. You can rearrange them to make better sense for you or your class.
You can delete them. You can retype things. You can add info. Right? And so the other thing that's really nice, if you click it, it literally pulls the annotated version up so you can see the article you read. So it's a great way to build timelines with kids and to see what's going on. So the outliner is a big plus you might want to look into. How's that for a broad overview of how we're using it? Well, one more thing, very important. In 6th grade, JC's not teaching the kids their own account and creating their own account, but when they come to me in 7th, they get a Diigo account. So all of my students know how to highlight text, add it to a bookmark. So they're collecting their own Diigo library as they go through my course. what I find really interesting is they make groups in science class when they're working on group projects to share resources in groups in science, or in language arts I've seen them use it. So the kids are finding ways to use this, and I've had kids even in college email me and say, I'm so glad I know Diigo, because now I can annotate things on the web. So I think it's a big skill for our students to learn. Anything else to add there?
Nope, they'll just use it however they see fit. You know, that's one of our main goals, is we give students the tools to use, and hopefully they carry them with them throughout their careers. So last thing I want to talk to you about is wrapping this class up and your final project. Okay, so first thing, we would like for you to create a simple lesson plan. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, it's just whatever you would use for your normal classroom, how you would incorporate Diigo into that. Okay, and then in that lesson plan, we would like for you to find 3 relevant articles that you would use in your classroom. Okay, and we want you to annotate them. So, you know, finding different things, we're asking for a minimum of 3 highlights. You're very more than welcome to do more than that if you want, whatever you see fit, and then add at least 1 post-it note on each article. And again, you are making these so you can use in your class come next fall.
So yeah, so let's clarify. We don't mean like a researched article. We mean a website that you would use to teach your kids some content. We want you to do some highlights to it, and we want you to add a couple post-it note, maybe with guided questions. Maybe, you know, you can throw in, you know, you can use other tools. Obviously, we showed you how to annotate pictures. Maybe you can throw that in, but it's not required for the CEU purposes of what we're looking for in the class.
Yeah, if you teach 2nd grade, make it a 2nd grade article, 10th grade, whatever. Make it relevant for your class.
Okay, and we'll submit those links, or you'll submit your lesson plan and the links back to Blackboard.
Yep.
Anything to add there? All right, well, thank you for joining us in Diigo. We hope you found it useful, and we enjoyed sharing Diigo with you.
Yep. Thank you.